Hi everyone, my name's Mel and I'm from Melbourne, and today I have a PurseBop exclusive for you. Now, when the fabulous PurseBop asked me to share my recent experience at the mothership store at Paris FSH, I was more than willing to come on board and share my experience. I know personally I have loved PurseBop. I've loved her Insta account. And I know it's been a great reference point for me because it's got the latest information in terms of the designers, whether it's Hermes or Chanel or LV. And she does fantastic comparisons, bag comparisons between certain brands, or even what I found so useful is when she does her handbag maths, and that's just comparing the different prices in different countries. So I have just loved her account. And so I was so happy when she asked me to share my recent experience in hopes that this would in turn be able to help you guys when you visit the mothership store. Now, FSH has a new system in terms of their leather goods. This has been implemented about 5 to 6 weeks ago, and I was in Paris at the end of June and the system had just been implemented. So, what's the main difference? Now, with the old system, previously you would just line up at either the main entrance or the side entrance, and you would just wait your turn in line, whether that be 20 minutes to 3 hours, for a sales associate to be available to serve you. Now, with the new system, you line up. However, that is just to get an appointment time. You can line up at either the main entrance or the side entrance. And how do you differentiate between either? The side entrance actually has a sign above and it says Cellier, which actually means saddle. So if you line up at either entrance, I suggest, if possible, for you to line up before the store opens. The store opens at 10:30 a.m. Now, from my personal experience, I lined up at the store. There was 2 occasions that I lined up at the store before it opened. The earliest time I went to the store was about 9:30 a.m., so about an hour before, and already there were people in both entrances lined up already. So what happens next? So when the doors open, you will be directed into the line, which is the appointment line. Now, just bear in mind, this only applies for leather goods. If you're there to buy scarves or ready to wear or shoes, there is no line. You can just enter the store when it opens and go to the different departments, and there will be sales associates ready to help you. Now, if you're in the leather line, you would probably be in the line anywhere from, it depends on what time you get there, but you could be in the line from anywhere from 20 minutes to 1 hour. So you line up in the line, and then there will be about 3 sales associates there where they will actually book in your appointment. You will hand over your passport and you give them your mobile number. So what they do there is they enter your details into their appointment booking system, and there and then you will get a text message. Now, on that text message, it will look something like this. So it will say, your appointment time is approximately, say, 11:50 a.m. Now, this appointment time is only a guide, and this can change. So it's really, really important that you refresh this page quite regularly. And so it is very important as well that you actually do have internet, because you will be using this page as a guide to your appointment time. So what happens next? So as your appointment time draws closer, approximately probably about 10 to 15 minutes before your appointment time, you will get a text message. And the text message will basically say, your sales associate's almost ready, your appointment time is coming up. And so if you are not already in store, start making your way back to the store, because it's usually around 15 minutes. Then you will get a third text. Now, the third text is basically saying, your appointment time is ready. Please meet your sales associate. Her name's Jamela at the leather counter. So this is an example of both the texts that you will receive. So I guess the second one is sort of like a warning saying, okay, it's coming up. Third one is like, your appointment is available. you can now proceed. So when you get that final third text message, you will present that text message to the leather counter and your sales associate will be ready to help you. And I think after that, the process will be the same as with the old system. The sales associate will just take you aside and then you would hand over your passport and then ask what bag you're after and so forth. Now, my biggest 2 tips for the new system is, if possible, get to the store before it opens. As early as you can, actually. As I said, when I went an hour before, there were already people in front of me. Now, why do I say get to the store as early as possible? The reason being, if you are one of the first maybe 10 to 15 in store, you don't need to line up. You will have a sales associate allocated to you straight away, and so there's no lining up. However, even if you can't get to the store that early, it's still worthwhile going early, because the appointment time that you will be set will you won't have to wait as long. So just say you get to the store at 10:30 and then you line up, you might get an appointment at say 1 or 2 o'clock. It is very important that you get to the store before 12 noon. Now, this is from my experience and from what I observed during my time there, and also from what other friends have said to me while they've actually visited FSH as well. There are only a certain amount of bookings throughout the day, so a lot of the people that got there after 12, they were actually turned away. So I guess that's another one of the biggest differences in terms of the old system and the new system. In the old system, you could still go at say 3 or 4 p.m. and you line up and you could possibly still see a sales associate and perhaps score your dream bag. However, with the new system, because there's only a certain amount of allocations, usually by noon, if you don't get there, most of the allocations would have been gone. So yes, first pointer, it is if you can get to the store early. The second reason also being is if you get served quite early and they say that, you know, a Birkin or Kelly or Constance or whatever bag that you were looking for wasn't available, you can actually get back in line and try again, and you may still be able to get a second appointment later on in the day. However, if you come later on in the afternoon, it's highly likely that you won't. Another point that I just quickly wanted to mention was that previously I also read a lot of reports that it was recommended that you line up in the side entrance, which is called the cellier entrance, because the cellier entrance, it's actually closer to the leather department. However, personally, from my time there, the 2 times that I did line up before it opened, they actually let the main entrance in first before the side entrance. So I don't think that that may be an advantage anymore. Now, I'm not saying they're always going to let in the main entrance before the side entrance, but they could vary it up. So I think it really depends now with the new system. You could line up at the main and you could line up at the side, and I think it just depends on luck too. So just wanted to mention that point as well. So guys, that is the sort of process now at the FSH store. This doesn't apply to any of the other 2 stores, like the George V store or the Sevres store. From my understanding, it's only at the FSH store. Now, for me, being a first timer there, my first time to Paris, my first time to FSH, I have not experienced the old system. So I didn't mind it so much in the sense that when I did have an appointment time that was there was quite a few hours in between. Because I went to Paris with my family, we could sort of go off, do our other things, and then sort of closer to the time make our way back to the store. However, I also have read reports that some people aren't so happy with it, because if the time is only 1 or 2 hours, people tend to hang around in the store and it gets very busy. Also, I did go during the period where it was very busy. There was Eurocup on. There was, I think Paris Fashion Week was about to start, and it was also summer. Now, because it is a new system, there may be modifications later on. And also, when it's not peak season, it may not be this bad. But I'm just saying, worst case scenario, for those planning to go in the next couple of months or so, it does pay, in my opinion, to go earlier. And even though the process, it was quite a process for me, I actually did try 6 times over my stay in Paris, over the 3 stores, in trying to score my dream bag. And I am happy to report that I did. I actually ended up getting this beauty here, which is the Birkin 30 in the malachite in Togo leather with palladium hardware. So for me, even though it was quite a process, I was so happy in the end that I could score this bag. So thank you for allowing me to share this process with you. I do hope it's been helpful and you've been able to get some bits of information, and so that when you visit the mothership store, it will help increase your chances in scoring your dream bag. Thanks for watching. Bye.